Why doesn't anybody ever want to meet Ringo?
Good evening, YouTube. Dalek44 here on this Halloween month. Would you like to hear a spooky story? Or would you like to see me do a review of something Halloween related? Well, tough shit for those of you who wanted a scary story, because I'm doing the review. And tonight we are going to review a Halloween special that aired on Cartoon Network in the early 2000s. I am talking, of course, about Billy and Mandy's Jacked Up Halloween. Billy and Mandy's Jacked Up Halloween is the first Halloween special based on the popular Cartoon Network series The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It aired on October 31st, 2003 and continues to be as popular as the show. So is Billy and Mandy's Jacked Up Halloween really as scary, exciting and hilarious as everyone remembers it? Fuck this. I'm just doing it without the torchlight. I'm getting fed up of it. Anyway. Billy, Mandy and Grim go trick-or-treating for Halloween, and Owen is left behind because he needs a scarier costume. After pulling a trick on an old lady and getting some sweets, Grim tells the story of why people pull pranks on Halloween. He tells them the story of Jack, a prankster of the old Ennsville who just never knew when to stop pranking people. One day the citizens decide to punish him for his constant pranks, and they pulled a prank on the Queen, but signed it from Jack. In consequence, the angry Queen sent a knight to kill Jack. When Grim went for Jack's soul, Jack stole his scythe, and made a bargain for him to give him eternal life in exchange for the scythe. And because Grim had no choice, he granted Jack eternal life. But after closing the deal, Grim takes his scythe and cuts Jack's head off.
You know, for kids!
Showing that no one will ever see his face again. Afterwards, Jack decided to use a pumpkin for a head, becoming Jack-o'-lantern. Get it? And suffering from the loss of his real head and learning this lesson about pulling pranks too far and whom he does them to, every Halloween he goes out to pull pranks on the citizens of Ennsville, and waits 364 more days until next Halloween in solitary mode in his own house, untouched by time. After hearing the story, Billy splits from the group and finds Jack's house downtown. Jack realizes Billy is carrying the actual Reaper's scythe, so he takes it from him and uses it to open the gates of the underworld and bring forth ghosts, which take pumpkins for bodies, of course, and cause havoc in the city. Jack then plans to get revenge on Grim by cutting his head off.
Don't be an idiot! Grim's head is removable. Observe.
Ah, but any head cut off with the Grim Reaper's scythe stays off forever.
That's a different story.
And it's up to Mandy and of course Billy to stop Jack from cutting Grim's head off and taking over the city. And how does Jacked Up Halloween hold up today? Still one of the best Halloween specials from Cartoon Network by far. This was the first Billy and Mandy project where Billy and Mandy would go solo before Grim and Evil split up into two shows, those being The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Evil Con Carne. And this really was a great way to start off the Billy and Mandy show when it separated from Grim and Evil. This special takes more chances than the previous episodes of Billy and Mandy have done before, like with the spooky visuals, some gory type stories without actually showing a gore, and a great character voiced by Wayne Knight. And the characters of Billy, Mandy and Grim are pretty much the same as they were in the show, with Billy being the idiotic one, Mandy being the smart and grim one, and Grim being of course the Grim Reaper. And the running gag of this special is Owen trying to find a scarier costume which aren't so scary, starting off with Snow White, a turtle, Little Bo Peep, a knight, the list goes on.
Oh, hey, Mandy, ever kiss a banana?
I said, did you ever kiss
Go away, Erwin.
But don't you find me appealing?
And we also get a pretty questionable insight to his obsession with Mandy.
What is wrong with you?
Am I the only one who's kind of creeped out by this insane obsession? Because if you weren't before, then you will be now after watching this. The main villain of this special is Jack-O-Lantern, voiced by Wayne Knight, an evil pumpkin-headed prankster who shows up every Halloween night to play tricks on the people of Ennsville. Wayne Knight's normally known for playing comedic characters, like in Jurassic Park, Space Jam, and Rat Race, to name a few. But here he's both menacing, threatening, and hilarious at the same time.
364 days a year, I can't even go to the ding-dong grocery store to buy pudding. And tonight, I'm going to return the favor. Out of the way, kid. As you can see, I have more important pranks to pull. So get lost and take that phony scythe with you.
A phony! A big fat phony!
Even though this guy was a one-off character, Jack did make some appearances in a video game of Billy and Mandy, which was basically a fighting game. And he got an honourable mention and a cameo by photograph in the Billy and Mandy movie, Big Boogie Adventure, proving that he's more than just a one-off character. He was an iconic one-off character. And compared to other Billy and Mandy episodes that came before this special has quite a creepy atmosphere to it. And there's Halloween all over the place. I mean, when you watch this special, there's just Halloween all over the place. There's spooky music, Halloween costumes, trick-or-treating, a pumpkin-headed freak with an army of pumpkins trying to take over the world. It happens. And this is one of those Halloween specials that I get hyped seeing every year because it's just so Halloweeny and hilarious, as only Billy and Mandy know how. I mean, you wouldn't expect to see this kind of imagery in a Billy and Mandy episode before this special. I mean, you had a knight literally stabbing Jack in the back, even though it was done off screen. You have an off-screen shot of Grim cutting Jack's head off, and the music is quite eerie. I think that was the first for Billy and Mandy, aside from the Brains episode. So this special definitely took more chances than the previous episodes of Billy and Mandy. And other chances would be taken later on in the series. So to me, Billy and Mandy's Jacked Up Halloween is definitely one of the best Cartoon Network Halloween specials of my childhood. And I highly recommend it for those who love Billy and Mandy. So if you haven't seen this special yet, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a Billy and Mandy and Cartoon Network fan. You know, Golden Age Cartoon Network fan. It's got great laughs as only Billy and Mandy know how, it's very Halloweeny, and it'll have you entertained for hours on end. And it's good to get you into the Halloween spirit. And until next time, this is Dalek44 saying, Happy Halloween, y'all. Why did I say y'all for? That sounded so American. I need to work on my outros.